Mikel, just a couple of players to check in on, if that's okay with you. I know that obviously Calafiori in the warm-up had to be replaced on the weekend. How is he, first of all?
He's fine. So he was training with us today. He's feeling better, and hopefully he's fit for tomorrow.
And Ben White obviously came off, but then posted that he was fine. Is he okay as well?
It was just a bit of fatigue, obviously. He did a lot in the game, and by the end of it, he was feeling a bit of tightness in the hamstring, but he's fine.
And Martin Ødegaard missed out, but is he back in the mix for Wolves, or maybe more for Sunday?
No, for Wolves he's not going to be fit, but for Sunday we are very hopeful that he can be with us. And
anyone else that we should know about?
Kai is the other one that, again, for the weekend is a possibility, so looking forward to have him in the squad.
Yeah, OK. And how much was Wigan, the performance, the result, just what you kind of needed right now in terms of physically giving some guys some game time, others rest, and then also mentally just to kind of reset what's coming over the next few weeks?
Yeah, well, very little time to reset because we're going to play a game tomorrow and then on Sunday again, and then we continue to play. But really good because that means that we are in every competition in a really strong position as well. So it was good because I liked a lot what the players delivered. Some players that didn't have many minutes. And the attitude, the way we attacked the game, it was very impressive.
31 of that Premier League season. So what I've done is I've collated all the players to receive passes between the lines from game week 31, just to see where Bukayo Saka ranked. He was actually one of the top performers that game week. Neil Maupay of Brighton, top of the list, alongside Kelechi Iheanacho as well. The Chelsea pair back then of Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic next on the list. Bukayo Saka's there with 10 passes received between the lines, actually ahead of Bruno Fernandes that game week as well, showing a little bit of quality from that number 10 position. Mikel Arteta also talked about getting Saka closer to goal. So might he, playing in that position of number 10, getting himself a little bit closer to goal, help with a scoring run? Because he's currently on the longest run without a goal in his career at 15 appearances. Would a change of position then generate a bigger goal-scoring return for Bukayo Saka? Matt, what do you think? Could it be something long-term? Could it be something just to help Arsenal with injuries at the moment? What do you think?
Probably looking at his attributes as a footballer, you can play him anywhere across the front line. Listening to his manager there, Arteta, talk about he's closer to the goal when he receives the ball in central areas. I understand that. He's intelligent. A lot of the clips you've shown there where he's dropping or he's standing still, which is a tough thing to do as a footballer. Knowing that you're going to create space just by standing still, it's hard. But he's clever enough to do that. Look, we know how wonderful he can receive the ball out wide, come in on his left foot and curl one in the top corner. We've seen it so many times, whether that be playing for England or whether that be playing in the Premier League for Arsenal. But do I look at him now and go, could he play that position? Most definitely. He has all of the key attributes you would want from a player. He receives the ball really well under pressure. He can wriggle in tight spaces. He's got constant awareness of what's around him. He can play bounce passes. What I like is because he has that forward-thinking mentality on a pitch, he will give it and try and get the other side of players as well. You're difficult to mark when you play that position well. I think the problem has been previously as a number 10, not necessarily with him, is that it used to be a luxury position. It's a position ultimately on a football pitch where you are judged by goals and assists. That's it. His numbers won't be where and aren't where he wants them to be this season. Therefore, does this give him an opportunity, if his manager chooses to use him in that position, to get his numbers back to where he wants to? Yes, it does. Yeah, and you touched on a point actually that's just occurred to me around him cutting inside and shooting. Goals from outside the box. I think Saka's got 5 goals from outside the box across his Premier League career. Of Arsenal in the Premier League, the only current player to have more goals from outside the box is Martin Ødegaard. And certainly when I looked about a month or so ago, we've seen the share of goals from outside the box going up. I don't know whether that's come down in the last couple of weeks or not, but when I last looked, it was certainly going up. And I just wonder whether that's an extra weapon, because a lot of managers are talking about how do we break down low blocks, teams sitting on the edge of their own penalty area, and another weapon that Saka has is being able to shoot and score from outside
the box and getting him into those positions seems like a great idea.
I think it's utilising the players that you've got at your disposal. That's what good managers do. We're not, aware of all the conversations that Arteta has with his players. This might have been something they've spoken about for the last 2 or 3 months, and it just happens to be that with an injury, that we've gone, right, we're going to put you in there, Saka, and we're expecting you to do X, Y, and Z. Look, football can be that simple at times, but I look at him. He's an outstanding footballer, outstanding receiver of the ball, always wants to score goals, always wants to get shots off. But also, if you look at his career, he's a good assist maker as well.